Yes, what's happening, people? And welcome back to GavGoesIn. So, guys, yeah, as Nxt Gen 50, which is the best 50 young players in Europe, would say right now. Obviously, I've done a few players so far. So, we're now going to move on to someone that might be relatively new. If you're a true football fan, you probably have heard this guy before, but for some of you, probably haven't seen too much of him. And a player for me that's very interesting, and that is Porto's youngster, Rodrigo Mora, And for me, I think from what I've seen of him, I think he's possibly, in terms of, his diminutive frame, the style of play that he is, I'm gonna liken him to two players. One's Eden Hazard, one of my favorite ever players, and the other is Joao Felix. And the reason I'm likening him to both players is because, as we know, Joao Felix was the hot talent coming out of Portugal when he was coming through at Benfica, and obviously the career that he's had so far, is frustrating because it's not gone the way that many would have predicted. But for me, I think in terms of, how Joao Felix plays, in terms of his confidence on the ball, I think Rodrigo Mora has that, in terms of his eye for goal as well, in terms of his shooting, again, off both feet, reminiscent of what Joao Felix was doing in his younger years at Benfica. But in terms of, the kind of the stature of Rodrigo Mora, the way that he can, the way he likes to just cut the ball, in terms of he has the ball, he likes to cut inside, and hit it off his left foot. The dribbling, the strength on the ball as well reminds me very reminiscent of Eden Hazard. The fact that he's only 18, and he's showing that composure already, just looks like he's a star in the making for me. And Porto have got one player on their hands there that, from what I've seen, he looks like he's going to be special. And again, he's someone, that has been in the Portuguese squad as well. He hasn't played yet, but he's been in the Nations League squad, which just shows how high they rate him with the amount of talent that Portugal have to pick from, But yeah, as I said, from what I've seen, he's a mix of Eden Hazard and Joao Felix for me. And I think I can see him getting a move to one of the big clubs in Europe if he continues the way that he's going, So I think he's definitely got a lot of talent there. Made his debut at 17 as well. And I've got a couple of stats that I've put down. So in his first season as a first team player for Porto so far, he's had 23 appearances with a return of 14 GA, which, to be fair, at 18 years of age, is some doing, really, As I said, part of the Portuguese national squad now, obviously part of that Nations League. And again, he's going to take his time to feature for Portugal as a regular, because they've got a lot of talent to pick from in those attacking areas, And I think we're looking at someone, which I'm hoping not, that could be taking over from Joao Felix, because Joao Felix is what, 20, I think he might be 24 or 25. I still think Joao Felix has still got potential in the game, in terms of, still trying to forge out a career for himself that many would have thought he would have had. But I think we're looking at Mora in terms of how he plays, where he plays. He could be someone that is the replacement for Joao Felix if Joao Felix doesn't hit the heights that many have predicted from him, 0 GA in the Europa League, So, but again, I think it's impressive that he's got 14 GA in 23 games in his first season for Porto. And I think what I've noticed with Rodrigo Mora is that what I like about him is that his intent to take on his man, and he's got a real eye for goal as well. I think he's a very good finisher off both feet, and he kind of hits the shots early. And the one thing that I did notice from him as well, he likes to pick out corners, and if you're picking out corners, you're going to be a very good finisher. He's not a striker, he's more of a number 10 left winger. Can play, I believe, as a false 9 as well. But yeah, from what I've seen of him, the finishing, yeah, he looks like he's a star in the making for sure. So as I said, I expect him to be a regular international for Portugal going forwards, you know, if he keeps improving season after season. And again, don't be surprised if the big teams in Europe, the likes of PSG, who again are linked to Rodrigo Mora, you know, but I think the likes of PSG, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, you know, Liverpool, hopefully United, you know, Chelsea. I think those teams will definitely be looking at him, you know, and he's going to cost a lot of money. I reckon he'll cost as much as what Joao Felix cost when he went to Atletico Madrid from Benfica. I think you're looking at Mora as someone that might cost similar amount, you know, and again, for me, he's a star in the making from what I've seen so far, you know. Again, providing he stays clear of injury, you know, he's got a very big future in the game, man. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how he does. But, guys, let me know what you think after the stream's ended. Put your comments in. Have you guys seen much of Rodrigo Mora? Do you think Mora is someone that is going to be a definite star of the future and one of the key guys going forwards for Portugal in the future? Let me know. Smash the like button, sub to the channel, and I'm going to catch you guys in a bit. Take it easy.